In the sleepy town of Meadowfield, where the days melded into one another with the predictability of the rising sun, there was a whisper of a tale that had yet to be told. It was about a girl named Leela, who, beneath the facade of normalcy, harbored a secret as vast as the sky itself. She could fly. Meadowfield was a place where the extraordinary hid behind the curtains of the mundane. The townsfolk went about their lives, none wiser to the fact that among them lived a girl who could soar above their neatly lined houses and cobblestone streets. Leela's life was a delicate balance between the ordinary and the extraordinary. By day, she was just another face in the crowd, her feet firmly planted on the ground. But as dusk fell and the world around her slept, she would spread her wings, invisible to all but the stars that watched over her. It was in these stolen moments of freedom that Leela felt most alive, the cool night air caressing her face as she danced between the clouds. Yet, with each flight, she carried the weight of a secret that grew heavier with time. For in Meadowfield, where nothing out of the ordinary was supposed to happen, Leela's gift was a spark waiting to ignite the story of suspense and uncharted skies. The tale of Leela's secret began on an afternoon that shimmered with the haze of summer. She was perched high in her favorite tree, a silent observer to the world below. It was here, amidst the whispering leaves, that her life took a fateful turn. A misstep sent her tumbling towards the earth, but instead of the harsh embrace of the ground, she found herself suspended in mid-air, her heart a wild drumbeat in her chest. In that breathless moment, Leela discovered she could fly. The revelation was as terrifying as it was exhilarating. Leela knew that her newfound ability was a gift that could turn into a curse if revealed, so she tucked it away like a secret melody, a tune only she could hear and dance to. She walked the familiar streets of Meadowfield with her feet firmly on the ground, her flights reserved for the solitude of night, when only the moon could bear witness. It was during one of these nocturnal escapades that she first saw Noah. He was the enigma, the boy who had appeared in town as suddenly as a storm cloud on a clear day. With his quiet demeanor and thoughtful gaze, he seemed to be hiding secrets of his own. Their paths crossed under the cloak of twilight, and a silent understanding flickered between them. In Noah, Leela found an unlikely confidant, a friend who looked at the world from a different angle. As their friendship deepened, Leela felt the walls around her secret crumble. Noah, with his gentle curiosity, never prodded, but Leela sensed a kindred spirit in him. It was this unspoken bond that eventually led her to share the truth of her flights. Noah's reaction was a mix of awe and disbelief, but beneath it all, Leela saw a spark of something else: acceptance. As the bond between Leela and Noah grew, so did the trust between them. It was during a moonlit rendezvous that Leela, with a heart full of hope and fear, revealed her secret to Noah. She took to the skies, her silhouette a graceful shadow against the luminescent orb above. Noah watched in silent wonder, his eyes reflecting a world of possibilities that Leela's gift could bring. Their newfound closeness, however, was soon to be tested. One fateful evening, as they walked through the dimly lit streets of Meadowfield, they became unwitting witnesses to a crime, a burglary at the local jeweler's. Without a thought for her own safety, Leela soared into the night, her eyes sharp as she tracked the fleeing figure. In her haste to help, Leela inadvertently led the authorities to Noah. The evidence, circumstantial as it was, pointed to him, and whispers of suspicion began to spread like wildfire. The townspeople, who had once greeted Noah with friendly nods, now looked upon him with distrust. Leela was torn. To clear Noah's name, she would have to reveal her secret to the world, a secret that had become as much a part of her as the very air she breathed while aloft. The thought of being grounded, of being seen as an oddity, frightened her more than she cared to admit. Yet the thought of Noah suffering for a crime he did not commit was unbearable. The drama unfolded as Leela grappled with her conscience. The town's suspicion was a heavy shroud that threatened to suffocate the truth. Leela knew that only she could lift it, but at what cost? The stage was set for a revelation that would shake the very foundations of Meadowfield, and Leela stood at its center, her decision poised to change everything. The day of reckoning had arrived, and the town of Meadowfield was abuzz with anticipation. The courthouse was packed, the air thick with tension and whispered theories. Noah, the boy with the mysterious past, sat quietly, his fate in the hands of those who did not understand the truth. Outside, Leela took a deep breath. the wind whispering encouragements as she prepared to reveal her secret to the world. With a determined leap, she took flight, her form rising gracefully into the sky. The townspeople poured out of buildings, their eyes tracking the impossible sight. A collective gasp filled the air, followed by a cacophony of reactions: fear, awe, disbelief. As Leela soared above the rooftops, her mind was focused on a singular goal: to find the evidence that would clear Noah's name. She flew beyond the town's borders, her eyes scanning the ground below. Time was slipping away, and with each passing moment, Noah's chances dimmed. Finally, her persistence paid off. Hidden in the underbrush, away from prying eyes, lay the discarded mask of the true culprit. With the evidence secured, Leela raced back to the courthouse, the proof of Noah's innocence clutched tightly in her hands. She descended amidst the chaos, her arrival stirring a whirlwind of questions and camera flashes. But Leela's eyes were on the courtroom doors. She pushed through the crowd, her resolve as strong as the beating of her wings. The trial resumed with a hush, all eyes on the girl who defied gravity. Leela presented the mask, her voice steady as she recounted her discovery. The evidence was undeniable, and as the truth unfolded, the room erupted into murmurs of shock and realization. Noah's name was cleared amidst a flurry of apologies and disbelief, but the impact of Leela's flight had only just begun to ripple through Meadowfield. Her bravery had saved an innocent, but the consequences of her revelation were yet to be seen. The dust of revelation settled over the town of Meadowfield like a fine mist, and Leela found herself at the heart of it. The secret of her flight, once a treasure she held close, was now a spectacle for all to scrutinize. The courtroom had been a stage, and her act of salvation for Noah had been the performance that changed everything. In the days that followed, Leela walked through Meadowfield under the weight of countless stares. Some were filled with wonder, others with fear, and a few with something akin to envy. But it was the look of gratitude in Noah's eyes that reminded her why she had chosen to reveal her secret. Noah, once a suspect, was now free, but his freedom came at the cost of his anonymity. The bond he shared with Leela was forged in the fire of their trials, and though he was exonerated, the whispers of the past clung to him like shadows at dusk. Leela's moral dilemma had been a tempest, and her decision to act had been the eye of the storm. Now, as the winds calmed, she was left to navigate the aftermath. The girl who could fly was now the girl who had flown in the face of fear, and in doing so, had altered the course of her life and the lives around her. The following action of our story sees Leela coming to terms with her new reality. She had chosen to act to save a friend, and now she must face a world that knew her secret. It was a world that was both larger and smaller than before, and as Leela looked to the skies, she knew that her flights would never be the same. But there was a strength in her, a resolve that had been tempered like steel in the forge of her experiences.